In this video, I'm gonna tell you about what to do in Panama City, what are the best things to do, what are the main tourist attractions, paradisiacal beaches, shopping, which are the best malls, everything you need to know to have a great trip to Panama City. So guys, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel guys, that's very important to us, it helps us a lot, and buckle up. Hey guys, for those who don't know me, I'm Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the Grupo Dicas, the largest travel content networks in the world, and today we're gonna talk about what to do in Panama City, what the tours are, what to see there. I'm going to try to break it down because I know that many people only go there for one day because Panama City has one of the largest airports in the world and it serves as the hub of the Americas because it connects all the destinations in South America, North America, and even Europe. So a lot of people just pass through, do a one-day stopover, or sometimes have an 8-hour connection and want to get to know the city quickly in one day. So we're going to explain what to do in that one day if you're only going to be there for one day, and also if you're going to enjoy it more, which is what we did in order to spend at least 5 days there and really enjoy it because there is so much to do in Panama. Starting with the main tourist attraction that everyone knows and has heard of, which is the Panama Canal. It's the most famous, everyone who goes there talks about it, already knows about it. But in my humble opinion, being very honest, I don't think it's the coolest, most beautiful sightseeing tour. We were even a little disappointed with the place at the time, but of course, it's sensational engineering, world class. It's been 100 years, a little over 100 years since they built it. It's incredible engineering, it's great to see. The Panama Canal, it's 12 kilometers from the city center where you'll probably be staying. So if you take an Uber, there is transportation, there is a bus that takes you there. It will take you about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get there. It's super quiet, and then you go to the Miraflores Visitor Center, which is the place on the Panama Canal that they've created for people who are going there for tourism. You see a deck there, a viewpoint where you can see the ships passing through the locks, how the whole water leveling thing works. There's a person there who explains, there are photos, there are lots of things. It's like a mini museum that explains everything, so it's really nice to get to know it and go there. But it's not that long. You go there, enjoy it, take pictures, get to know the canal, and then go back to the center to continue the other tours. There guys, it's open every day from 8 to 6 and it costs $20 per person guys. You buy it on the spot and you don't need to buy it in advance. You go there, you buy your ticket, and then you can enjoy the whole experience of the canal. And now I'm going to talk about one of the sites that I think is the coolest to see in Panama City, Casco Viejo or Casco Antigo, Old Town, Old Casco, everyone calls it one way, but the official name is Casco Viejo, which is the old and historic center of the city, preserved because many years ago pirates invaded it. Part of it was blown up to try and throw off the pirates, and there's a very interesting story behind it which you should know about. There's the museum, which I'll tell you about in a moment, where you can see all the history of Casco Viejo, and it has historic buildings. It's a more cultural village in Panama. I think it's a beautiful, pleasant, and safe place to walk around. It's very nice. There are lots of restaurants. You can have lunch there. There are more local restaurants. You get to try more local food, have this experience with the Panamanians who are super friendly people. So it's a place worth spending 3 or 4 hours a day. For those who are only staying one day, this is one of the tours I totally recommend to get to really know the heart of Panama. One of the most famous places in Casco Viejo is the Plaza Mayor, which is very famous throughout the world. There are several cities in Europe that have Plaza Mayor, which is the main square of the city, so the Plaza Mayor is very beautiful to visit. In addition, there are other squares, churches, colorful houses in the local style, and then there are other tourist attractions, the Canal Museum, which is very cool, the Panama Canal Museum. It explains all the logistics, so if you're going to visit the Panama Canal, a good tip is to go to this museum first. first learn all about how it works, then you'll be able to enjoy the canal tour much more, so that's a good tip. There is the History Museum, which tells the general history of Panama. It's also very nice to see. The Presidential Palace, which is very worth taking a photo in front of it, getting to know it, staying there and observing it. It's a really cool place. It's a really beautiful historical building. And then there are various buildings, architecture you can enjoy a lot. So take some time to walk around, look at the map, find your way around, walk around the streets there, which is a very pleasant walk. Everyone ends up speaking very highly of it. And some people choose to stay in Casco Viejo, but I don't recommend it. I've even made a video here about where to stay in Panama City, where I explain the areas. Is that an option? Yes, you'll be close to this area, which is very nice, but there are few hotels to choose from. They're more expensive and not as good as the others. And then the option that we prefer and that most tourists prefer is staying in the modern part of the city, which we'll talk about in a moment, but which is also just 10 minutes away. It's super close. You can do all the tours, go to the Panama Canal, all very quickly and very easily. So if you haven't seen the video yet, take a look at where to stay in Panama City. To make it easier, I'm going to leave the link to the personalized map here in the description of the video and in the first comment. This is the one you see on the screen, which we put together with the best area for you to stay in. If you use this link here, it will open a map in the hotel search engine, which is what we use. It's the biggest in the world. I'm sure you know it too. It has the best prices. We always book it there. Take a look, search, put in the delivery trip, and the best options will appear. But this area of the modern city is very beautiful. I'm going to talk about it here too, because there are lots of tourist attractions, there are lots of hotels, good and cheap hotels. You'll find good, large hotels at a very good price, and it's close to everything too. It's a great area. I'm going to include the link to the 2 hotels we've stayed in. They're very good. One is very good value for money, it's cheaper, and the other is a 5-star, but it's not expensive. As it's a 5-star hotel of this standard, it's not expensive, so I'll leave the link below. Take a look, they're sensational accommodations. Now let's talk about a tourist attraction that connects the 2 regions I've just told you about, the old and the modern, which is the Cinta Costera or Coastal Belt. It's also called by other people, by the tourists who go there, which is an area they made to connect these regions, and they made it surrounded by parks. Guys, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. It's very beautiful, it's worth a walk. It's 3 kilometers long and they've made it with natural parks. It follows Avenida Balboa, which is one of the city's main avenues, and you have the sea on your side too, so it's an incredible landscape. For those who like running, cycling or jogging, this is a great option, guys. You enjoy it a lot. It's very beautiful, a region well worth your visit. Another tourist attraction that's similar to the Cinta Costera is the Calzada de Amador. It's a promenade, they actually call it that, but it's also a 3-kilometer stretch of land that connects Panama City to 3 small islands that are nearby, and it's very beautiful. They've made a promenade, you can go by car, by bike, walking, it's very nice. There's an ice cream parlor in the middle, there are stores, you can have a drink, something there. It's a very pleasant atmosphere. You'll be walking in the middle of the sea, so the Panamanian sea breeze, it's really nice, it's worth going. And inside, guys, not actually inside, on the avenue, there is the museum, the Biomuseum, which is one of the most famous museums in the whole of Panama. It was designed by the famous architect Frank Gehry, who they idolized there. He's a very important person, and it stands out for its colorful shape. So the coolest thing about it, of course, is that inside the museum it's very cool, it's worth a visit. But what's most striking, what people like, is the outside. You can take beautiful pictures in front of it, or go to the other side of the avenue so that you can see it from the back. It's a very nice place, a nice walk to do too, cheap, fast, it's not too crowded, so we always recommend that you take a walk there because it's very pleasant. Another famous tourist attraction in Panama City, but it's not so much to do, it's more about looking around and getting to know it. It's called the Bridge of the Americas, a huge bridge that was created there to connect the 2 canals, to connect the 2 sides of the Panama Canal, and it's very cool, it's very well engineered. You will see that it has a different shape so that the taller ships can pass through. so it's a very important bridge, but from a tourist point of view there's not much to do, so try to find somewhere nice with a view from there so you can get a good look. It's close to the Panama Canal. There's the modern city, the old city, the Panama Canal here, and the bridge here, so at some point you end up passing by it. You don't even have to worry so much about putting it in your itinerary because you end up seeing it one way or another. It's really in the middle of the way, so anyway you're gonna get a good view of it and you can take very good pictures of the bridge. And now let's talk about the area we recommend you stay in, which is the modern city center. It's the area that gave Panama City the name of America Dubai because it has several gigantic skyscrapers in the middle. It's also very reminiscent of Miami in terms of the hot climate and the buildings, so you see those gigantic buildings from afar, the gigantic hotels, and that's exactly where we stayed. I thought it was very nice. It's a very organized area, very beautiful. There's the Tower of the Revolution, which is very interesting to look at because it's a spiral building. It's incredible architecture, guys. It's all glass. There's not much to do inside. There's even a restaurant, everything else. The coolest thing about it is that you can see it from afar, and there are several other gigantic buildings. That's where the Hard Rock Hotel is. It's very big. We've been to the top. There's a really nice bar. It's on the 62nd floor. I think it's called Bar 62. We went with Clarinha. Clarinha was already 2 years old. We loved it. It's a restaurant. The Hard Rock as a whole, it's a place to go at night. It's nice because there's the restaurant, there's the bar, you can have fun. This area also has the famous casinos of Panama City, restaurants, shopping malls. There are lots of nice shopping malls. There's the Pacific Shopping Mall, if I'm not mistaken. The name was Pacific Shopping Mall, which we loved. We went twice because it was near there. It's even connected to the Hard Rock Hotel, and then you can explore the stores. They're very nice. It's a very cool place. I think it's worth a visit. And before I get into the beaches, which is one of the things I like to talk about most in Panama, which are incredible beaches, I'm going to talk about shopping here briefly now that I've touched on it. In Panama, guys, shopping is cheap. It's not as cheap as here in the United States, the price, but it's almost as cheap. I liked it a lot. I thought that after the United States, Panama was the place I liked best for shopping, both in terms of price, but pay attention. Here's a tip. Every price you see in the shop window on the products will have a 7% surcharge when you pay. This is the tourist tax. There's no getting away from it, just so you know that the price on the label isn't exactly what it is. But there's also a great tip for saving almost the same amount on your purchases, because the currency in Panama, whoever watched the video, the most important video, guys, is all the Panama tips. After watching that, watch this video because I talk about the currency, how to use the money there, documents, the vaccinations you need to enter Panama, how to get there, what are the best times and months to visit, what to do, how to get around, the travel tips. But one of the most important tips I'm going to tell you about is money, how to use money for shopping. The official currency there is the Balboa, but they hardly use the Balboa. The predominant currency is the dollar, so all you have to worry about is carrying dollars. Speaking of shopping, where to shop there, Gabriel? There are several malls. There are 5 large malls near the center. There are 2 that I think stand out, okay guys? They complement each other. One has more popular stores, so you'll see a lot more local people. There are cheaper things. There are nice stores, but also better prices, which is Albrook Mall. Albrook Mall is a little further away. You have to get an Uber, a shuttle, something to get there, but it's easy. And now there's another one called Multiplaza Pacific. That's the one I mentioned. That's nearby inside the modern city area, and it's very nice for a walk and even for lunch. There are some very good restaurants. It's a really nice place. It reminded me a lot of the malls and outlets here in the United States, and it has all the stores that we like, that we look for when we go abroad to shop. So I thought it was the nicest and coolest place to go for a walk. But if you're looking for the price, I think Albrook has more options of cheap stores, guys, promotions. You can enjoy better, and you can buy more things with a more accessible price, let's put it that way. So that the video doesn't get too long, guys, I'm going to briefly talk about the beaches here, okay, in a nutshell. But I did now, before this one, I made the video of the best beaches in Panama. Watch that video. I'll leave the playlist at the end, but in this video, I explain them one by one, the advantages, disadvantages, which ones to visit, how to get there, where to stay. For those of you who want to explore Panama's paradisaic beaches, I recommend that you do take a look at this video on Panama's beaches, which is much more complete. But just to give you an overview, Panama City has a nearby beach called Playa Bonita, 20 minutes away. It's the easiest way to get to the beach and it's quick. In 20 minutes you've taken an Uber and you're at Playa Bonita. There's a hotel, but it's closed, okay, by 2 hotels, one of which is called Dreams. I thought it was the coolest because it has the use. You can go there, stay from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening using all the hotel's facilities. You only pay one price, then you can use the bar, the chairs, swimming pool and bathrooms, and it's a very nice experience and easy to do. But it's not the previous sea in Panama, but it's a beautiful beach and very easy and accessible. Apart from that, there are 2 islands close to Panama City that you can take a ferry to from the port, which is nearby. It'll take you 20 or 30 minutes to get to Bodega Island, or you can go to Contadora Island, which takes an hour and a quarter by ferry, which I thought was one of the best options of all. Guys, it's a beautiful paradisiacal beach. I'll even leave you the link to the hotel we stayed in, a cheap, good hotel. It's a great hotel that picks you up at the ferry. They take their own transportation, they pick you up, take you to the hotel, show you all the beaches, you get to know them, they lend you a bike to get around because it's a fairly large island and there are several beaches scattered around. It's a very nice experience for those who want a beautiful beach and islands in a quick and practical way. And now, finally, the most beautiful place in Panama, but also the most difficult to get to, which are the San Blas Islands. The San Blas Islands, guys, are an archipelago of 365 islands, one for each day of the year. You can enjoy it if you're crazy about the beach, but it's an island in the Caribbean. It's the Caribbean part of Panama because Panama is bordered by the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. Down there are the Pacific beaches. The ones I mentioned are all down there, which is near Panama City. Now, if you drive 3 hours up from Panama, you get to the Caribbean side where you find the paradise beaches. Cartagena, which is also in Colombia, has beautiful beaches too. It's nearby. From the map you see that it's part of the Caribbean and the beach is very beautiful. For those who are crazy about beaches, it's worth doing this trip. The sea is blue and the islands are small. What happens? They are lawless islands. The laws are created by indigenous families who look after each island, so it's very cool. It's an incredible experience. It's like those islands in the movie that you watch the end of, you know, because they're really small. There aren't many tourist facilities. It's a bit more complicated to stay on them. Watch the video later. I explain everything, guys, about all the beaches, about San Blas, how to get there and how to stay there, but it's a very nice option. The only thing is that you have to drive 3 hours to get there, take a boat, and then take another 30 minutes to get to the island, but I think it's worth it because it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Paradise, really, it's worth it. What's nice, there are agencies that do it, guys. We did the tour with a very good agency. I'll leave the link here too for you to access. It's a website that sells all tickets, tours and excursions from Panama all over the world. They're very good. And there's the tour that we paid $150 for at the time. They pick you up from your hotel and take you in a 4x4 car, which has to be equipped. There are lots of bands. Take some medicine first, but then they take you to the port. It's a 3-hour trip. They pick you early in Panama City. You arrive around 8 in the morning. You get on a boat, and after 30 minutes you stop at an island and they give you the whole experience. They meet the indigenous families. You stay there. They have chairs, there's a bar, you get lunch included in the price. In the package you get to eat their typical food, which is very nice. You get a handicraft bracelet. It's a package that includes everything, the whole day's tour, and then they take you to a sandbank with a beautiful natural pool in San Blas. It's a spectacular deal. Then you usually go to other islands depending a lot on the day and the agency, but it's more or less this tour. Then you get to know another island, walk around the island, stay there with everything included, okay? And then about 4 or 5 in the afternoon you return to Panama City. That's another 3 hours away. It's a bit tiring, but I think it's really worth it, guys. Really worth it, because it was one of the most beautiful places in the world, in my opinion, and this agency is very good. The website, they sell excursions, it's always very good. We booked everything. There's the best price. You pay less, so you won't pay the 6% IOF. It's a great savings on the trip as well, and of course the best service guaranteed with the perfect tour. And down here, guys, I'm going to leave all the links to the places we use to organize your trips. They're the best, the cheapest. Each service we do and buy in one place, because we know that's the place that has the best prices, that has the best service. So take a look. The travel insurance comparator, it finds travel insurance for half the price of what travel agencies offer you. Take a look, it's very good. It compares all the best insurance companies. Car rental is also the same. It's the website that compares all the prices and shows you the cheapest ones. This ticket website is very good. You can also buy a transfer from the airport to the hotel. It sells it and it's cheaper than a cab. You already have a trustworthy person there, so take a look at this really good website, the SIM card, so you can use your cell phone there. Everything, guys. Here are all the links, all the tips for organizing your trip. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel, because that really helps us a lot. And don't forget to watch the other videos, which are very good. I'm going to highlight the one with all the tips on Panama, which is the most important of all, and here's the playlist with all the other videos for you to watch and enjoy. So thank you very much, guys, and have nice trips.